Hello and welcome to the Genos 2. Now, for those of you who've messaged me, and there's been quite a few of you asking how to create a style using Genos, well, the tools are all on the machine. Not all of the tools, but 90% of the tools to create a really nice style. And one of the requests that I keep getting is that there's an adventure sort of sound and all that sort of movie score stuff. Well, what I'm going to show you today is really simple, and this is like your sort of stepping stone into making styles. This is what we're going to make. It's quite a moody, angry, and maybe I want to put a string on the right hand. And then maybe I want to bring in a nice choir, because the choirs on here ain't that bad. The choir. Right, so first things first, you need to press menu and then go into Style Creator. Now, once you've gone into Style Creator, this is where the fun begins, and I'm going to show you on the screen what you'll see. This is the style that I've got at the moment, but I'm going to start from scratch again. Okay, so let me remind myself. So it was a cinematic percussion for the drums. The biggest thing is finding the voices that you want. Right, so basic. I'm going to initialize the style at the top. I'm going to press this button here, and now there is nothing there. It's gone. It's all disappeared. Yep, it says completed. So now I have nothing. Literally, I have nothing. So if I start the rhythm, all you can hear is metronome. So, first things first. Stop the rhythm for start. Let's go back. And what we're going to do now is go to, on the left-hand side, you can basically work your way through the style parts. So you want record channel, and I'm going to start with the drums. Now, if I tap the little drum icon underneath rhythm 2, it allows me to then select the rhythm I want. So if I want cinematic percussion, I've got all this. Oh, dear Lord. I've got all these going on. Let me just turn that down. Right, okay, so I've got all that sort of thing. So I am going to Luke. And this is all trial and error, and this is what you're going to have to do. You're going to need to find a nice deep. That's quite a nice one. That's F. So third octave F. Right, okay, so I'm going to go with that one. It's a nice ringing, it doesn't get in your face. So I'm going back to my screen again, and I'm going to turn on the metronome. So you can hear the metronome. Now, before you go anywhere else, you need to decide on how long you want the style version or style variation A to be. So if you go to basic, this is where you can tell your keyboard how many bars you want it to be. Well, I'm just going to go with 4. I mean, now normally if I'm doing something like a movie score, it'll be 8 or 16, because then it allows you to put instruments into the style without them repeating too frequently. But for this purpose, we're going to go with 4. So I'm telling it it's going to be 4 bars, press execute, and that is it, it's done. So we now know that the tempo is 120. Maybe I want to change the tempo. Let's slow it down. Dum, 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 dum. Yeah, okay, let's go for 85. Hope I reach that age. Right, okay, so right, we're going to go back to record channel now. There's my drum. I'm going to turn the metronome on by pressing the little metronome icon at the top. And then on the main panel, I'm going to show you. I'm going to press sync start here. But all I'm going to do is press one drum. 5, and wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, so now I have that. And to be absolutely pedantic about timing, I'm going to quickly quantize it. There we go. Right, now, that's that part done. This is, I said to you, it was easy, didn't I? And then let's go back to the screen again. Now we're going to go back to record channel because I want to record a different channel of sound. So I'm going to record the bass now. So I'm going to tap the little icon on the piano where it says bass. So I want to change it to a bass voice. And if you zoom over towards the end, let me just make sure that the record, there we go. If that is highlighted red, then when you're playing, you'll hear that particular track. Okay. Right, now I need to find a bass voice that's suitable. Bit too. That's a bit too obvious. That's nice. Okay, so now I've got a choice of what pattern I want to play. So, boom. What's going to happen is, am I going to go? Is it going to be a real heartbeat moment? We're going to scare the wits out of you. But let's do that. So we're going to go. And of course it naturally repeats when I finish the end of the 4 bars. Okay. So again, let's quantize. That's what we've got now. So if I go to the mixer and turn the bass up, maybe turn the drum down a little bit because he's quite heavy, isn't he? Okay, so he's there. Bum, 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 bum. Now at this point, that alone is enough. If I just quickly press exit, now I'll give you a word of advice. If you're making a style, you can come out without having saved it. And it'll say, the style has been changed, close without saving. Say yes, close without saving, but this is only for preview. If you now go and change something, you will lose that. So to go back into Style Creator, you make sure that on the screen, you press Style Creator. And then that takes you back. So for the purpose of this exercise, I'm going to come out because I want to just try it. So I've got this sort of nice string sound on the left. So now if I hold my chord down, there's the style. Use the cough. Oh dear. Right, so we've now got this. It's getting there. Right, let's go back into Style Creator, and we're going to record now a channel with spiccato strings. So I'm going to go with a phrase. I'm choosing the phrase section, if you can see on the screen. And then I'm tapping the piano to select the strings. So I'm going to go to strings, and the spiccato strings are on page 6. And I honestly, I slate these strings, but these are wonderful. Okay, so let's turn those down because they are going to blow us away. And what I'm going to do is play a fifth, C and G. I'm going to follow the rhythmic pattern of the bass line. You ready? So if I press sync start, it will start to record. I'll put the metronome on. Okay, now I can go and quantize. Okay. Now if I want to put a horn in there, I can. I can go to, I'm going to go to chord, no actually I'm going to go phrase 2. Put the horn on phrase 2. So I'm going to go into the brass section. Again, let me show you. So I'm just picking the brass voice. I'm looking for something. That's quite nice. It's not too overbearing, but it's also not hidden too much in the background. So it's just about right. It's the 3 bears syndrome, isn't it? Too hot, too cold, just right. And all I'm doing is playing that little phrase. One note. Da. Da da da. Okay. Right. Save it. Let's call it something. I'll call it A. Because it's going to be at the front of my list, so it's easy to find. Right, okay, so now if I come out, I can now play this style. And that's variation A. Now, I can go in 2 directions with this. I can either go to the level of adding more orchestral voices, or I could, and I'm going to show you again, go back to Style Creator. Go back to Style Creator on the screen. And all I'm going to do now is, let me just show you, I'm going to highlight variation B. Because all these lights are out, so that indicates there's nothing there. If I go to variation B, make sure you press it so as it's lit. If you press and it's flashing, that means you're going to program something into the fill-in. Well, you don't want to do that. You want to do the actual main variation. So make sure the red light is on and everybody's home. Okay, so let's go back to the screen. So going back to the screen, I could now do something quite radical. I can copy over, which this whole process makes life so easy. If I go to assembly, I can say I want to copy my variation A to B, variation A to B, variation A to B, and all that sort of. You can copy everything across. Now, I wish there was a button that just said copy all from A to B, instead of having to go for each element, because that really does slow you down. It's a pain in the backside. But hey, you know, it's what it is. So. Right, so going back to channel, now I've got everything that's on. Well, no, I haven't, because I've not copied the bass over. Let me copy the bass. Right, I've copied the bass over. That was easy, wasn't it? I'll go back to my record channel. So now, if I want to, I could add a choir on the pad. So I'll just press record on pad. Then press the little piano below, which then takes me to choose the voice. So I can go to choir, and I'm looking for sort of an orchestral choir, something nice and soft. Sort of a Celtic sort of style voice. Now that's a nice voice. Just one note, that's all you need. Okay, now, have you noticed the flaw, the problem that I haven't done badly? What I haven't done is I haven't told variation B that the style is going to be 4 bars. So what it's done is when I've copied everything over, it's copied it into the 1 bar. So it's just quickly repeating. Oh, yeah. It sounds like the thing off Willy Wonka when they sing, oh, yeah. God, I'm so sad. Right, let's change this to 4 bars. 4 bars. Okay, execute. But don't panic. Nothing is lost. All you need to do is go back to assembly and relink the previous one, and it'll change that to 4 bars. I just need to say this one's main A, this one's main A, and that one's main A. And now you can hear that the pattern is full 4 bars, not just one repeating rapidly. So let's go back to our basic, and then, in fact, let's go back to record channel. So the gospel is on the pad. Okay, now I'm going to put in just same as I've done with the exactly what I've done with the with the horn and the fifth. And there we go. So now we've got that in there. Okay, so we've got a variation and a variation A and a variation B. So variation A, variation B. Right, now, as I said to you before, I can go down the cinematic route, or I could possibly even go down the cinematic rock route. So I've still got on my screen rhythm 1, which isn't actually doing anything. So I'm going to go in and have a look for a nice rock drum kit. And let's have a look, see what we've got. We've got Dirty Kit. Okay, let's take the rhythm volume down for that part. Let's try industrial. Ooh. Somebody give me a snare somewhere. That'll do. Okay, let's try that. I'm only messing about here. This isn't rockets. This is me just having a mess. So I'm thinking if we go down the rock route, 2, 3, 4. That's going to work. There we go. Now we don't want that too loud because that's kind of... But what we can do is take the volume down. But then we can crank up the reverb. Right, okay, so let me just do... Now because I've turned... I'm showing you all the little quirky things on here. If you notice... Oh, hang on, let me get rid of that. If you notice, when I turn the reverb, because the style is running, it records everything. So as I'm turning the reverb, it's actually recording the change in the reverb, and I didn't want it to do that. So all I do is go to Channel Edit, go to, on the main screen, Channel Edit, if I want to do things to get rid of things or change things or quantize, and there's a little button option called Remove Event. So if I click on there and then scroll through, there's reverb depth. If I press execute, it's now taken the reverb back to what it is, and that's 40. Okay. So now if I come out without saving, it's sounding amazing, and it's just 4 parts, for God's sake. Let me just pick a... There we go. I'm using the Soundpack's Epic Strings voices because they are very filmic. Variation A doesn't have the drum. Variation B does. And again, remember in the previous videos, there's some absolutely incredibly nice instruments in here. Where are we? Dinky dinky dinky. Ooh, where is it? It's in here somewhere. Oh, it. Am I looking for it and can't see it? These menus I'm still getting used to. Where the devil have they put it? Is it in? Let's have a look. See if I can search. Dulcimer. Oh, it was in. Yeah, it was in percussion on page 2. I can't believe I've gone past that. Now I'm going to take out the string now. And also, and this is where you sort of start thinking, oh, I'm going to be more creative. It's not all about the style. It's about the voices that you put with the style. So if I'm going to go on the left, I've got this nice strings pad, which is in the Legacy. I'm working from memory because I don't want to push it. It's in Legacy Strings, page 4. There, in there, that's where it is. And it's a really nice movie score sort of pad. So maybe I want to go and put a nice orchestral horn in here. And as I said to you before, voicing. So on the left hand, I'm going to go into the choir. And I'm going to put a nice choir. Not too loud because they're going to drown everything out. I just want the choir in the background, preferably singing in the car park. Right. So in what? 10 minutes? 15 minutes? How long has it been? Oh, 23 minutes. Okay, maybe a bit longer, but I've been rambling. You've made 2 style parts for a very nice... It's got... Word of advice, bags of reverb. Always bags of reverb on movie stuff, especially on the percussion, because it just sounds epic. And that style took next to no time. So there you go. Obviously you need to go back in and then you need to go back in and save your work. So make sure you click save here, yes, okay. It'll overwrite your file, but now you've got something. And this is what I start simple. Don't try and make something like Yamaha because you'll never do it. Never do it. You've not got the tools or the bits. You need sticky tape and glue to do something like them. You won't do it. You really can't produce that sort of standard on the machine. At least I'm give up. So go back and try and start from the beginning and start slowly. I mean, you can take parts out. Don't forget the channel button on the screen. Let me just show you this. This is what I would like to see moved to buttons on the actual instrument, because the channel, I always use the channel button to take parts out. Because if I'm playing, I think I'll mute the guitar for a short while and bring him back in a bit. So I can see that horn's there. So I can just tap it on the screen and turn it off and then play. Maybe I want to take the bass out and just have the... I wouldn't. If I'm going to do anything, I would take the strings out. And then you could bring the horn in. Turn the horn down. Bring the strings back. You get the drift, don't you? It's as simple as that, and I say as simple as that. It's easy baby steps. Initialize the style. Make sure you tell the keyboard how many bars you're starting to work with, and start with 4. Or if you want to go simpler, you can just go 2. But it just means it's going to loop every 2 bars, and your rhythm will sound quite repetitive. Use 4, you can't go wrong. Use 8 or 16 and you're away. I mean, that's when you start to get some really nice, elaborately created styles. And then start your basic variation A. And then once you've got that, don't try and rewrite something onto B, because it's not going to follow. Copy the previous one by using, on the style side of things, go to assembly. And it'll say copy from, so you're copying from to, and then you can pick copy from A to B. And then all that does is shuffle everything's on A to B, and then you can add more instruments, more voices, more everything. And then keep doing that until you get to D. And then you'll have a very nice, pretty nice, easygoing sort of movie sort of style. If I wanted to add something else, I could stick some sort of percussive voices in. I could stick some woodwind. Keep with things that are within the orchestra. Don't go sticking sort of, I don't know, what would you stick in? Maybe electric guitar. Keep away from electric guitars. If you're doing orchestral stuff, keep within the sort of the family. Not saying that you can't stick electric guitar in, because obviously, things like War of the Worlds, that's orchestral and rock at the same time. And for me, that's my perfect melody mix. But start simple. Absolute simple. Right, okay, well, I'm going to disappear. I've just noticed this keyboard's smoothed by an inch. So there you go. Who knows? But anyway, until next time, look after yourselves. Please click subscribe. You'll be doing me an absolute favour. I do all of this for absolutely nothing. So, just help me to build the channel up and sort of get a few more views. It would be nice. And until next time, I shall say Auf Wiedersehen. Bye-bye. Goodbye.